Hi, this is Matt Marchant with the EAOC, and this is the exercise of the month for February 2011. So similar to the exercises for January in 2011, we're going to go through 5 joint mobility movements to loosen up certain areas of your body. This month we're going to focus on the midsection and your lower body. First one we're going to do is called straight leg hip circles. Okay. You're going to stand on one leg, take your other leg, make sure that leg is straight, and make a circle here at the hip, not at the knee or the ankle, but making a circle at the hip. Okay? You need something to hold on to, obviously for balance. That would be wise. Chair, wall, something like that. Now when doing your circles, we're not going to do a circle just out in front here. We're going to make sure that half of the circle is getting back, the other half is getting in front. Circling just like this. Note there should be no movement in the lower body. This is bad. Staying up straight, this is good. So, hip circles, straight leg, making a circle. We'll go 10 one direction, 10 the other direction, and then switching feet. Okay? Exercise 1. Exercise 2 is knee up, lower leg circles. Now we're going to stand on one leg again. Put your weight on one leg. Hold on to something as needed. Bring your knee up, and we're going to make circles with the lower part of the leg. Okay? What you can do to ensure that your knee is not moving, you can put one hand on your knee and make sure that you're doing circles just from the knee joint and not doing a circle like this. Okay? So, keeping knee up, making circles just like this. Okay? You'll do 10 one direction, 10 the other direction, and then switch feet. So that is your knee up, lower leg circle. Okay? So we've hit the hip joint, the knee joint, now moving downward to the ankle. Okay? Now we're doing feet together, knee circles. So my feet are all the way together. It's very important, feet together and feet flat. If your feet come off the ground, you're not getting benefit in the ankle joint. So we're going to bend the knees, put your hands right on top of the kneecaps right here. Knees are together, and I'm making small circles with my knees. I want to stress the importance of small circles. If you have any kind of knee issue and you make your circles too large, you'll put a lot of pressure and grinding onto your meniscus, primarily on the outside. So this is a good exercise to loosen up the ankles, but you need to do it right and make sure that your circles are small and not too large. So again, feet together, feet flat, bend the knees, hands here, circles. 10 one direction, 10 the other direction. So a circle about this large is sufficient to loosen up the ankles. You really don't need to see how large you can go with your circles in that one. Next one. Now we're going to move to the midsection. Okay? We're going to do what's called the Tai Chi twist. We're going to start with feet wide to have a good base of support. I'm going to take my hips and push forward with my hips, squeezing my glutes. It's very important that you squeeze your glutes. For the integrity of this movement, we don't want any movement in your legs. Also, too, it's a lot better for your back when your glutes are activated and squeezed. Okay? So squeeze the glutes, wide base of support. I'm going to rotate my shoulders back and forth, letting my arms swing. Okay? Make sure you're breathing on this one like with all the others. Okay? As long as you're breathing at some point, that's good enough. And just back and forth, letting your arms go without letting your hips go forward. So from the side, my hips come forward, lock it in. And I'm exaggerating the exhalation for you so you can see what that's like. So, Tai Chi twist. Next and last one for the midsection. Okay, we've done some rotating. Now we're going to do some bending. It's called a steeple bend. So we'll go back to feet together, okay? If you can. If this movement, while doing it, becomes a little too challenging, widen your base and keep widening it as need be. But if you can, try to keep the feet together. We're going to take your hips, push your hips all the way forward, squeeze your glutes, for the same reasons as the last exercise. We're going to interlock your fingers. Point the index fingers like you're making a gun. We're going to reach your arms up. Your arms will go straight. This one doesn't. Lock your arms all the way out. Point to the ceiling. And you're going to bend. As I bend this way with my fingers, I'm trying to bring my hips out to the side. 1, 2, 3, and so forth. Okay? So, from the side, my hips are forward. I'm reaching up, bending and bending. Again, from this angle, I'm going to exaggerate the exhalation. Okay? And that is your steeple bends. Okay? So those are the 5 exercises for the EAOC Exercise of the Month for February 2011. So now I'm going to show you 2 bonus joint mobility exercises that are going to greatly improve your lower body and lower back flexibility, and if you have any lower back tightness. Okay? So stick around for these 2 extra ones. So first, what we're going to do, we're going to kneel on the ground. Okay? We're going to do a kneeling lunge to loosen up your hip flexor. I'm going to take my front foot and move it in front of my knee, and take my hip, move it back behind my hip. Due to your own flexibility, you'll be able to go farther or shorter with this movement. I'm keeping my back up nice and straight. I'm not leaning. If I lean, I negate the stretch here in my hip flexor. I'm going to lunge forward. As I lunge forward, I'm going to isometrically contract, kind of a squeeze without movement is what isometrically means. Squeeze without movement my inner thighs. By squeezing here, it's going to turn off the hip flexors and get more of a stretch. So I'm going to exaggerate the breathing. This is loosening up a muscle called the psoas, which directly links your femur or your lower leg here to your spine. A lot of issues with the psoas and hip flexors due to sitting. This is a great one to loosen this up, loosen up your lower back. Okay, next one, hamstring. You're going to take a bench or a chair, 1 foot on, both knees locked back, pull your toes back towards you to get less calf and more hamstring. Without hunching, I'm going to keep my chest and chin up. I'm going to bend at the hips into my foot until I feel a good stretch right here. Okay? It should not make me want to cringe or make a funny face. It should not hurt. Just a little stretch. As I lean in, I am now going to rotate my entire leg, left and right, left and right. While rotating your toes, make sure your kneecap rotates with you. If you're just wiggling your toes back and forth, you're not moving from here, you're moving from the ankle. We want to move way up here, stretching out the 3 major muscles that make up your hamstring. Okay? So, leaning in, chest up, rotate, back and forth. Okay? So, one thing I'll show you while doing this, you can go through a quick movement screen on yourself. What that means is this. Do your outside movement first. Rotate out and look at that angle. Now rotate in. If it's not the same angle, then you see where your problem area is. You want out and in to be fairly symmetrical in their movements. Okay? So you have the same amount of range of motion. If you're finding one side gets a lot of range of motion and the other very little, then really work on either the outside or that inside movement, because one of those muscles, one of those angles is very tight and it's something you need to work out. So again, lean in to the foot, toes back. And there you have a couple bonus exercises for the month of February, EAOC. Thank you very much.